stopping by. Go ahead and check out the rest of the content. But baby, we have a story time today. We're gonna get straight into it. You guys see the title, y'all. This is the story time about the time where he tried to P-I-M-P me out. He tried to me out, y'all. And y'all, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, this story time just happened. Like, it just happened not too long ago. Go ahead and grab your popcorn and let's get straight into the video. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and give the boy a name. What are we gonna name this boy? We are going to name this boy, we're gonna name him Memphis, right? We're gonna name him Memphis, okay? I have been following Memphis on social media for a long time. Well, not a long time, but I would say probably over a year. He started following me on TikTok and I thought he was attractive. You know, he never messaged me. He never tried to talk to me. He just used to like my TikToks, and he had TikToks, but he didn't really post like that, so I couldn't really like nothing. I will preferably say that there was a time that he went, and I think one of my TikToks had went viral and he liked it, and then he went and he followed me on Instagram. And when I seen him on Instagram, I didn't recognize that was him, because like I said, he followed my TikTok like a while ago, but he followed me on Instagram, I would say back in October of last year. That's when he followed me on Instagram. But like, he had me on TikTok since like 2021. That's how long he had me on TikTok. So when I seen him on Instagram, I was like, this boy looked familiar, but it took me a while to figure out that was Memphis, right? So I ended up following him back though, because I was like, this boy looked familiar and he was attractive, so I followed him back, right? I posted a picture, he started liking it up or whatnot. He slid in my DMs and I was just like, damn. And so he came in my DMs with the energy, with the pressure. He was telling me like, you're so pretty, I would like to get to know you. And I was telling him like, you know, you look good too, like I would like to get to know you as well, you feel me? So we're talking, you know, doing the usual.
Hey man, I got another banger video for y'all today, man. We're gonna see how her boyfriend almost, you know, put her on the plate. You feel me? Y'all might hear some in the background. I'm getting sod put down on my front yard, so that's what they doing out there. But I ain't gonna hold y'all for too long, man. Let's get into this dusty story time.
The usual stuff that, you know, y'all do when you meet up with a guy. Like, I'm asking him what's his name. He telling me that his name is like, I'm gonna say like, okay, you know how I said that I named him Memphis? He telling me that his name is Fis, like without the mem. And I'm like, oh no, like, we're not gonna do that. What's your name? Like, what was the name that your mother wanted to name you? So he finally like, all right, shawty, my name Memphis. So I'm like, okay. He tells me how old he is. He's too young for me. Now, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. I like young guys. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. Yep. I know. I'm about to see everybody start judging me. I know y'all about to start judging me. Yes, I am Freddy Cougar. I like young guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not too young now. Not too young where they gotta put the cuffs behind my back. Not too young. Not that young. But I still like young guys. You feel me? I like guys to be like about 2 years younger than me, 3 years. But young guys been doing your girl dirty. So I've been trying my best to get out of dating young guys, and I've been dating guys my age or guys that are like a year younger than me. So lately I've been dating, I'm 25, I've been dating guys that are like 24, 25, 26. Like, I've been dating guys around my age, because dealing with guys younger than 24, even dealing with 24-year-olds is hectic, but dealing with guys younger than 24 is real hectic. And their maturity level is not there, which, you know, is not really expected to be, but that's neither here nor there. So when he told me his age, I literally was like, oh no, like, I can't talk to you, you're too young for me. He wasn't too young, but he was still too young for me, okay? So he talking to me and he trying to raise me up, and he's like, nah, like, I'm not too young for you, shawty, like, like, you ain't never been with a guy like me. I should have listened to him, because when I continue to tell you guys this story, y'all will understand he's right. I've never been with a guy like him. He's like, I'm very mature for my age, like, he's like, I'm very mature for my age, Now, what did I just tell you guys? I was supposed to be staying away from young guys. And let me tell y'all ladies something. When y'all put a boundary down, do not go over your boundary. Because what I figured out with me is that whenever I go over my boundary, something bad always happen. Now, if I really stayed in my boundary and be like, nah, he too young for me, then we wouldn't be sitting here talking about this story time. Against my better judgment, I was like, this boy's very attractive. He's applying pressure. You know, I kept shutting him down several times. I was like, nah, you too young. There will be days where he would message me. I would ignore him. He would double message me. Like, he was not playing with me. Like, he was trying so hard to get to know me. I was just like, okay, like, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm gonna take this serious, but I was just like, okay, whatever, let's see where it goes. And then on top of that, he did not live where I lived. He lived in another state. So I was just like, I probably might not even see this boy. Like, you know, I'm not thinking like, you know, I'm thinking like, I'm bored. Also, keep in mind, I had just got out of a bad situationship. This guy that I had been talking to for months, on and off, and I was very scarred. I was very scarred. I was very hurt, and I was just, I was a lot of things, right? So I ended up talking to the boy Memphis. Now, me and Memphis started talking. It took a while to pick up. We would message each other here and there. He wouldn't message me every day. He did not have my number yet. He still had me on Instagram. But you know, he would slide up on my story, compliment me, you know, have little convos, and then we'll go about our day. So I never really took him serious, right? I'm gonna say around like a couple of months, like I'm gonna say like 2 months later, he asked me for my number. And so I was just like, man, I guess, F it. Like, you know, we've been messaging each other on Instagram, like, F it. I don't know if it was the first day or the second day, but he asked for pictures. Y'all, I don't like when guys ask for pictures. Like, I don't know. Like, this other guy the other day, he asked me for pictures. Mind you, he had been talking on Instagram and he got my number, and then he asked me for pictures. I'm looking at him like, what was you looking at on Instagram? Like, I'm only gonna send you what you've been seeing on Instagram. And so he was like, this is what guys do nowadays that irritate me. They be like, oh, can you send me pictures? Da, da, da. No, this is what guys do that irritate me. Nowadays, what guys do to me, I don't know if they do it to y'all, is that they will sit up there and send pictures like I did not ask for them pictures, and then they will expect me to send pictures back. So y'all know what I do? When guys send me pictures that I did not ask for, I literally like them. I be like, oh my God, you look so good. He say thank you. And baby, when he tell me to send it back, bitch, I go ghost. I'm not sending no pictures back to you. Like, that's not happening. So he sent me pictures like the first time of us texting. I liked them, and he was like, can you send me some pictures?
But
I told
honestly,
him,
the sending pictures thing, that was like a young folks thing to me. Like when you like in high school or something, hey, let me get a picture. I feel like when you get grown, when I got grown, I didn't care about it because I'm like, bro, I'm gonna see her in real life. You feel me? If I don't see it in real life, I don't really want to see it. You feel me? But that's just me though.
yeah, I got you. That's usually what I tell them. I tell them, yeah, I got you, and I change the subject. So, you know, we're talking and stuff, and he was like, I don't recall getting my pictures. He said his pictures like he is the one who took them. He said his pictures as if like I took pictures from my phone for him, and I never sent it to him. I'm looking at him like, boy, you don't got no pictures. Like, what do you mean you didn't recall getting your pictures? Why are you feeling so entitled, right? I should have seen that as a red flag, right? But I didn't. I told the boy, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna send you pictures, da da da. Like, I'm just thinking that he gonna forget like the rest of them. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and cap to y'all. I do send some of my guys pictures, like some guys that I talk to. I do send them pictures or whatnot, but there's some guys where I just personally do not feel like I need to be sending pictures to you. It's not that serious. But the majority of the times when I send guys pictures, it's guys that I know for a given fact are not really on social media like that. And like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not on social media like that. And there's guys who actually like flat out tell me, hey Irene, like, I really like to see how my woman looks every day. Like, I would like for you to send me, like, if you tell me in that type of formal manner, like that you like for me to send pictures when I'm done up, you like stuff like that, you like having attachments on your phone from your girl, da da da, like, I don't mind doing that. Like, I find that cute. But when I'm just meeting you and you're saying, send me pictures, like, I kind of feel like you trying to be inappropriate, but not really, because you trying to figure out what I'm going to send type. So to cut to the chase, I'm not sending shit. But this boy Memphis was not letting up. So I ended up sending him pictures or whatnot. Sending him regular ass pictures. He told me some of these pictures are from Instagram. Good observation, buddy. What the, where you thought I was getting my pictures from, Mark? Bitch, Instagram. Instagram. At this point, I'm looking at him like, hey, hell nah. So I was just like, yeah, this is a little boy. Like, you know, I'm about to tread lightly with him. But he keeps messaging me. He does, like I said before, he doesn't message me every day. But, you know, he keeps the text messages flowing, right? So strike number 2. This boy messages me back extremely. Like, when I say extremely, he messages me back extremely fast. Like, if I text him within 30 seconds, he will text me back. If I text him within 30 seconds, he will text me back, right? I know some people might be like, that's what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What ends up being wrong with that, especially when you just met the boy and he's texting you back so quickly, is that he sometimes expects you to keep up that same momentum, and when you don't, they can feel some type of way. Because I was texting him and he was texting me back so quickly, and there were pointed times where I would text him and legit as soon as I press send, he'll be back typing, and I'm like, damn, do this nigga got a life? So he back typing and stuff, and I would take a while to text him back. I would take like 10 minutes, and I know in his head he's thinking, I texted you back legit right when you texted me, so you should still be on your phone. And I remember one time he confronted me and was like, I don't like how you text back slow, this and that. And I told him, I said, look, I had to tell him straight up. I had to tell him, look, everyone got a life. Like, I had to tell that boy straight up, everyone got a life. If I'm not taking 7 hours, 8 hours to text you back, then you shouldn't be complaining. Like, you complaining over 10 minutes? Like, I told him straight up, I'm like, everyone has a life. I said, I'm not just sitting on my phone all day waiting for you to text me back. Like, I got shit to do. You know, we got money to make. We got shit to do. We got errands to run. Like, we have a life, and I didn't even know you prior to this type shit. And, you know, like, why are you worried about me texting you back fast enough? Like, it was just weird, right? I end up getting on the phone. He ends up calling me. It's so funny because I was in my bed chilling and the boy calls me. I'm like, shit, y'all ever been in your bed looking a damn fool and the boy call your phone? Bitch, you gotta, bitch, you gotta get up. Bitch, I got up. Bitch, I started brushing my hair. Bitch, I started brushing my eyebrows. Bitch, I started putting, bitch, not only did this boy call me, y'all, this boy FaceTime me. I'm looking like, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, no. You already know how guys are. They be like, put your face in the camera. And y'all, when I be on FaceTime, I put a corner of my eye in the camera. And if you don't like it, hang up, because no. I got on FaceTime with him, and you know, I'm on FaceTime. I'm like, hey, you know, I got my face in the corner. He's like, damn, you're not gonna show me your full face, da da da. We get on the phone, and y'all, when we get on this phone, it's like I knew Memphis my whole life. Like, I don't know, funny shit, y'all. It's like I knew Memphis my whole entire life. This boy could hold a conversation. And y'all, do y'all remember when we were texting and I didn't want to talk to him because he was too young? He told me that he's very mature for his age. Y'all, this boy was not lying. He was very mature for his age, like very mature. But he was mature in a sense of street smart. Start talking or whatnot. You know, we're talking about so many different topics, like topics that, like, you know, we're just, I can't describe.
He a pimp. Of course he's smooth. Every pimp I know is smooth. Besides Sharp. He run the girls away.
But like everything that, okay, he's bringing up topics, he's asking me how do I feel, he trying to see how I think. And I love when guys do that. Like, I like when I first start talking to a guy and he's like, hey, like, how do you feel about such and such? Like, I want to know how you feel about this topic, and I'm letting him know, and then he lets me know. Like, I like that. Like, I don't like talking to guys that don't have nothing to talk about, because it makes me feel like I don't have anything to talk about, right? It's like, hey, how do you feel about this? And I'm telling him how I feel about this, and he agrees with what I'm saying. Or I ask him, how do you feel about this? And he's telling me how he feel, and I agree with what he's saying. Like, we are agreeing with so many different topics, like to the point where we just start talking for hours, for hours, for hours. He's so mature. Like, he's talking about like being a dad and having kids and stuff and everything. He's just checking off all the boxes. And you know, honestly, y'all, I don't know, maybe this could have been a me problem. Like I said, I had just gotten out of a bad situation. So maybe I did not need to jump into this so quickly, but he just was doing it for me. Like, he was doing everything for me. He was checking off all the right boxes for me. I honestly kind of felt like, I'm not gonna say he was God sent, but I did kind of feel like he was a good placeholder. And I know a lot of y'all about to be like placeholder, but yeah, y'all, I wasn't looking at this boy like, oh, he's boyfriend material. I was looking at him like he's a good placeholder, and I don't want to hear nothing because guys do that shit to us. Like, it ain't nothing wrong with being a placeholder. It's just, do you want to be a placeholder?
Dang, imagine a dude right now who loving, like he telling his homeboys about his new chick. He loving her, telling his parents. In her head, she like, he a placeholder. Can you imagine how that dude feeling right now, bro?
That's the question that comes into play. But he was a good placeholder, and yeah, so we kept talking, right? We called each other throughout the day. We talked for a little bit. We get off the phone. He had stuff to do. As I start talking to him, one day he calls me. We're talking, right? He asked me, he's like, hey, what do you do for a living? Now, I don't really like to tell guys that I do YouTube, but the problem is he already kind of knew I did YouTube, but I forgot that he'd been following my socials. I know if y'all follow my Instagram, or like my Instagram, really, if y'all follow my Instagram, y'all know every once in a while I post my YouTube stats on there, or if I drop a new video and I really want you guys to watch it, I'll post like a link to my YouTube, like, hey y'all, I just dropped a video, y'all go check it out, da da da, all that shit. But like I said before, I completely forgot that this boy was following my Instagram. And then on top of that, I don't post my YouTube on Instagram all the time. Like, it's every once in a day blue, right? He asked me, what do I do for a living? And I told him nothing. That's what I tell guys. And I ain't gonna lie, it be turning guys off. Like, I've had, bro, there was this one guy the other day. He was like, hey, what do you do for a living? I said nothing right now. And he was like, oh, like, you don't have a job? I said no. And then he was like, oh, okay, so like how do you travel and all this? He was like, I'm seeing you try. In my head, I'm like, mind the business that pays you. Mind the business that pays you. Like, mind the business that pays you. Because if you guys go on my Instagram.
Well, with that mentality, you're going to stay single, because niggas going to be like, wait, you broke and you be going on trips. You know what? I'm going to just, I'm going to stay out. I'm going to go the other way, bro. I'm telling you, that mentality you got, you're going to be broke, Miss Renee.
You guys would see all my traveling pictures and shit. So he started talking about some, you be going all over the place. Like, what you mean you don't do nothing? Like, and then this boy turned around and said, are you a scammer? I was like, no, like, I don't know, y'all. No, I'm not no damn scammer. Like, I've never scammed a day in my life. I'm proud to say this. I have never scammed a day in my life. Never. Have I stolen some money before? Yeah. Allegedly. I ain't never scammed a day in my life. Okay, so he asked me, he starts accusing me of being a scammer. He's like, are you a scammer? Da da da. So I just let their mind wander for the most part. I lie to guys and I tell guys I don't do nothing. And like I said before, some guys find it unattractive. Like, some guys legit stop talking to me. There was this guy this other day said that he doesn't know if he could talk to me if I'm unemployed. And I told him goodbye. Good fucking bye. Because, bitch, we gonna be in your pockets, not mine. Like, if me and you were dating, we gonna be worried about your money, not mine. So you shouldn't even be worried about the fact that I'm unemployed. But like I said, I don't like telling guys that I have a YouTube channel, because a lot of guys be having ulterior motives, and I'm not with the shits. Okay, I told the boy that I do nothing, and the boy ends up saying, you a YouTuber, what do you mean you don't do anything? And I was like, fuck. Mind you, y'all, we're on FaceTime, so I'm trying my best to keep my face like, you know, like I didn't know. So I was like, oh yeah, I thought you meant like a, you know, a 9-to-5 or something. I tried to play it off. And he was like, no. He was like, YouTube is still a job. He was like, you just, you know, it's not a 9-to-5, but it's still a job. But he was like, I was wondering, like, do you do anything outside of YouTube? That's what I was wondering. He said, I know for a given fact you do YouTube. So I told the boy, I was like, no, I don't do anything outside of YouTube right now. Not at the moment. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, he was like, yeah. He was like, I know you did YouTube because one time you had posted a link for your subscribers to go watch a video, and I clicked the link and you have a lot of followers. And I was just like, yikes. And I'm like, oh yeah, thank you. Like, you know, I'm so cringe, I'm uncomfortable, but you know, he already found out, so it's like, what can I do at this point? So I'm like, oh yeah, like, thank you, da da da. Like, you know, I'm just trying to be nice about it, but in my head I'm literally screaming, and the inside of my body I am screaming. It's the subject, because I just felt very uncomfortable. I didn't want to talk about my YouTube because he started asking me other questions like, oh, so how much do they pay, you know? And that's why I don't like telling people I do YouTube, because people feel like they can have the audacity to ask you how much do you get paid every month and stuff like that. If I was to talk to him and I asked him what is he, and he told me that he's an astronaut, am I gonna ask him, how much do y'all get paid every month? Like, I don't know why people feel like they can ask influencers, people who do social media, how much do they get paid every month. Like, and then for the most part, I always keep the answer very vague. I'll be like, it depends, because in all honesty, it depends. You can have some good months, you can have some bad months, you can have some in-between months. You never really know, you know what I mean? So he's like, what's the estimate? And I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, okay. So we changed the subject. I don't want to talk about it. So we start talking about something new. So he tells me that he wants to come out to my city, and y'all know I'm from Houston. So he's like, I want to come visit Houston, like, could you please look for an Airbnb for me? I was just like, I kind of found that weird, because I'm just like, if you want to come out here, you need to get your itinerary together. Like, I shouldn't be looking for nothing for you. Like, you need to get your itinerary together and And I even told him that. I was like, why can't you look for an Airbnb yourself? And he told me, he was like, I don't know. Like, he said, I just got a lot of stuff to do throughout the day. Like, he said, I don't have time to sit and look around for an Airbnb or whatnot. And he said, then on top of that, you are from Houston, you know the place well, so I feel like you'll put me in a nice Airbnb. He said, could you please just look for an Airbnb for me, and I can and then send me the Airbnb, and then we can set up like a plan. And he was like coming up with a whole itinerary for me of what we can do and all this stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, I'll help you. Did I go look up in the Airbnb? I didn't do it, y'all. I be lying. I be telling guys I'm gonna do it, and fuck you. I ain't doing that shit. So I was like, yeah, I got you. I just want to show guys that I'm a good girl, but I'm not. I was just like, yeah. He texted me, he's like, hey, did you find an Airbnb, like, did you look for one? I was like, yeah, I've been looking for some. What's your budget? Like, I'm trying to ask him questions, right? So one day we're on the phone, and you know how I told you guys that this boy said he's always busy? I never got to ask this boy, what do you do for a living that makes you always busy? But I did know that the boy was always busy. I did know he was always busy. Every time I watch his story, he will always post posts that says something like, it's better to get to the bag. You know, he always posts talking about money, but I didn't think anything of it. I didn't really think anything of it, you know what I mean? One day we were on the phone, and I was like, hey, Memphis, what do you do for a living? Because, like, you always telling me that, you know, you working and you be busy and stuff, but I don't think I ever asked you, like, you know, what you do for a living. Memphis opens that mouth and says, I ain't gonna lie to you, baby, I'm a gentleman. And y'all, it's two things. One, I don't know if you guys watch Soft White Underbelly. It's a YouTuber that basically interviews pimps, prostitutes, drug dealers, gang members. Like, he interviews them and asks them like about their life. And I used to watch Soft White Underbelly. Whenever pimps talk in interviews, they always talk about how they're gentlemen. Like, I'm a gentleman, I treat my woman right. Like, they always say something along those lines. And so when he told me that he was a gentleman, for one, I thought of Soft White Underbelly, and I was just like, why is he telling me he's a gentleman? And for two, literally, like, I kid you guys not, the Holy Spirit told me he's a pimp. The Holy Spirit legit told me he's a pimp. And I was like, at this point, as soon as he says he's a gentleman, he gets quiet. He don't say nothing. But
so you're gonna bring the Holy Spirit? You know, I'm gonna leave that alone. Now you're gonna bring the Holy Spirit into it now. The Holy Spirit ain't tell you that was a pimp when you first met him? All that time you was talking to him. So, man.
he basically told me, he was like, I can't really tell you all that about what I do. This and that, he was like, we got to keep it confidential. And he started laughing. Now, I've talked to a couple of scammers before that don't like to admit that they are scammers, but it's very obvious that they're scammers. And when you ask them, what do? They always say, oh, I can't really tell you that, Disregarding what the Holy Spirit told me, I'm thinking, is he a scammer? I asked him, I said, are you a scammer or what? He started laughing and he said, no, I'm not a scammer. So I was like, okay. So mind you, in that moment, legit, the Holy Spirit was like, girl, I just told you he's a pimp. So I was like, you're a pimp. Tell me why. Mind you, we're on FaceTime. We're looking at each other. He goes like, I'm like, we're literally making faces through the camera. I'm like, we're talking with our faces. I asked him again, I'm like, you're a pimp, right? And he's like, how the hell did you know? Bitch, I said, bitch, I almost called the police. Bitch, I said, bitch, I had the phone in my hand. I said, He's like, man. I'm like, so he's like, I ain't want to let you know this. He said, I wanted you to like me for me. Da 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 da. Like this, he just starts going off on a tangent. And he's like, mind you, I'm quiet the whole time. I'm literally looking like, he's like, how'd you know I was a pimp? I didn't even say nothing. All I told you was that I was a gentleman. And I said, well, I be watching pimp interviews and a lot of pimps be saying that they're gentlemen. So you must be a huh? He was like, look, I'm not gonna call myself a pimp. I said before, baby, I'm a gentleman. He said, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. He said, I don't want you to judge me for me. He said, because I be telling girls up front that I'm, and you know, they don't be respecting my lifestyle. They be wanting to stop talking to me and stuff like that. But what I told myself is that I'm gonna start, you know, trying to get to know the girl, let the girl like me for me, and then tell the girl later. And I told him straight up, I was like, but you don't think that that's not fair to me, that you should have let me know that you were a pimp? Because now I got a little bit of feelings for this guy. I'm thinking that we're meant to be something, you know what I mean? And you know, I'm just, you know, I have feelings for this guy. I remember when I said this boy was very mature. He's very mature because he's a pimp. Like pimps know how to talk. Pimps are very smooth. Pimps know how to move their mouthpiece. Like they know what they doing type shit, you know what I mean? So at this point, everything is just like weird. Like everything is weird as fuck. I'm just looking at him like, so he's like, now that the cat's out the bag, do you accept my lifestyle for me? And I told him straight up, I said, I don't accept your lifestyle. I said, but at the same time, I'm not judgmental. I said, we could be friends, but like, you know, don't ever expect me to, you know, do anything for you. Like, I don't do stuff like that. You heard me. You heard what I said. I told you I'm a YouTuber. I'm not a prostitute. So he was like, yeah, for sure. I start asking him questions about the fucking lifestyle. I start asking him, when did you start? What made you start? Like, you know, I'm curious. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, y'all, I'm mad curious and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, let me figure out, you know, what happened. Like, how did he get into this type of lifestyle? You know what I mean? So he basically starts telling me about what made him become a pimp and who influenced him to become a pimp, how long he's been a pimp, how many girls he's had before in his stable. Like, y'all, I'm literally flabbergasted. I'm like, oh no. He starts talking to me and he starts telling me that a lot of his relationships don't work because when girls find out that he's a pimp, they don't want to be with him no more. In my head, I'm like, I'm glad you freaking know. Like, I don't want to be with you either. Like, you were a placeholder from the beginning, but bitch, now you're not even a fucking placeholder, bitch. You just a place. So at this point, I'm just looking at him and I'm talking to him and he ends up getting off the phone. And at this point, I'm just taking everything in. I'm like, oh my God, this boy's a pimp. So as the days go on, we kind of stop talking about what he's doing as far as pimping. We get back to talking about other things. Like I said, it's always in the back of my head. I end up telling one of my girlfriends, I'm like, bro, this nigga's a pimp, da da da. And my friend is laughing so hard. I don't know why my friends find shit like this funny. I don't know why, but my friend is laughing. My friend basically ends up telling me he's gonna try to pimp you out. And I was like, girl, no, he's not. Like, little dumb old me, y'all. Me being dumb as fuck, being ditzy, like, I'm a dummy. So I'm like, girl, he is not gonna try to pimp me out. I already told him my rules, da da da. She was like, girl, do you really think that boy's gonna listen to you? No, like, he trying to butter you up so he can pimp you out. Y'all, that's exactly what he did. Now, it's like, I feel like Memphis was hiding that he was a pimp for me, because as soon as I found out that Memphis was a pimp and he knew that I knew he was a pimp, his posts on Instagram started getting like, he started talking about pimping. He started talking about hoes. There were different girls taking pictures. They were basically taking pictures with him. It would be girls, like, they would be half naked and they would take a picture, he in the background, like, you know, putting up he was in a, I don't know if he was in a gang or a clique, but he was putting up some fingers, like, you know how they do, and she calling him daddy, and he's reposting it onto his story. And so I talked to him about it and I was like, is that one of your hoes? And he was like, yeah, she worked for me, da da da, you don't have to worry, I don't touch none of them, da da da, this is and that, blah blah blah, this is and that. And I'm just like, ew, like, I don't know, I just begin to get really turned off, because I was just like, I don't like my man. I'm not gonna say this because this sounds bad, but I'm gonna say it. I don't like my man interacting with females topless, of having hoes in his stable. Like, that is just not good. Like, that's weird. So I was just like, ugh, like, but he was like, I don't take, like, he tried to convince me. But y'all, like I said before, I never fully took this boy serious from the beginning, so I wasn't too mad. At the same time, it kind of was just confirming, like, yeah, you would never be my man. Like, you know how you're dealing with a guy that you know from the beginning would never be your man, then he does something to actually really solidify that spot of never being your man. That's how I kind of felt with him. Like, I just kind of felt like, I'm not gonna take him serious. He's just like a fun time to hang out with. I was trying to get over my situationship. He was, like I said before, very intellectual, talk about anything, very handsome, very flirtatious. Like, he has some good aspects to him, and he was smooth. Y'all, he was a pimp. Like, you could tell that whoever he learned his pimping skills from was like an old head, because like he was like a old school pimp, not so much of this new generation type of pimps. You know, I still kept him around, right? One day we're texting and I tried to call him. Y'all, this boy, he had court. Yes, y'all, he was on probation. I don't really remember what he did, but he had to go to court, so he told me that he couldn't talk. But he told me that when he got out of court that he wanted to talk to me. So I was like, bet. So he got out of court and he texted me and he said, hey, I just got out of court. He said, I want to talk to you. He said, I have to have a talk with you. So I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Now at this point, when, like I said before, when I found out that this boy was a pimp, we never really kind of talked about it again. Like, I will bring it up when I would see him with his girls, but it just wasn't really nothing that, you know, I don't know. Get on the phone with him. He FaceTime me. I end up missing the call. I end up calling him back. I'm on the phone with him and he's like, hey baby. I'm like, hey, what's up? So he's like, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, yeah, what's up? So I was just thinking, like, you know, I don't want to be mean or nothing, but anybody that's with me, we gotta make money. I said, what do you mean? He says, you know, any girl that's rocking with me, like, we gotta be getting money. I told him, I said, oh yeah, I get money. Like, I get paid on YouTube. Yeah. I had to tell him, like, bitch, I don't know what you talking about. Bitch, I get paid every month. I'm like, okay, you trying to pimp me out. Like, what you trying to do? So he was like, I don't like when you be saying that pimp word. Like, I don't be liking that pimp word. He was like, you know, I'm not trying to pimp you out. I'm just trying to, like, you know, put you onto the game. Like, he was like, the reason why I asked you what you made on YouTube is because the money that you make on YouTube, that is chump change compared to where I'm about to put you. I could put you in da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. Like, all I'm hearing is blah, 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 blah. Do you want to move to Vegas? This boy asked me if I want to move to Vegas. He was like, you want to move to Vegas? Like, we can make big money out there in Vegas. Da-da-da, like, da-da-da, like, say the word, say the word. So I was like, so this was your plan all along? That's what I told him. And he's like, no, shawty, that wasn't my plan. This and that. That wasn't my plan. I really like you. He said, but I ain't gonna lie to you, baby. At the end of the day, I am a gentleman. And gentlemen like me, we don't allow women to, you know, just consume us. And, you know, they don't got no, they not making no money. Like, you're not making no money from me. Like, you're not making no money with me or type like that. Like, he was like, I understand that you have your YouTube and other aspects of what you want to do in life, but you know, your YouTube can't benefit me. That's your money, but I want to see how we can make money together. I'm looking at him like,
yo, YouTube don't benefit me. What? That's crazy. That's a crazy lie. Yo, YouTube don't benefit me.
when I take a customer to the back to suck dick, are you gonna be bending your ass over for him to fuck him? Like, and I know that sounds so derogatory, but y'all, I'm not gonna be funny when I say this. In today's day and age, I don't understand the point of a pimp. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. If I was selling cat, I'm not gonna have a pimp, because you still gotta give that man your cut. What am I giving him my cut for? Because he protected me? I'm protected by the Lord. Okay, you feel me? Like, and I know a lot of you.
Did she use Lord and being a prostitute in the same? Man, she tripping, bro. Okay. All right, we'll take him back there and suck him off, but the Lord gonna protect me. What? I'm sorry, guys.
All my laughing shit, but I am protected by Jehovah. You feel me? I am not protected by him. What can he do? Like, if a man, like, let's be real. If a man really wants you dead, you can be dead. You can have a pimp all you want. How many stories have y'all heard about girls having a pimp and then she go with one of the clients and one of the clients end up killing her or stabbing her or beating her up because they don't want to pay when the deed is done? I never understood the purpose of a pimp And so I would never, for one, have a pimp, and two, I would never be a prostitute, you know. He starts talking to me, and y'all, I kind of just feel like he manipulated me at this point. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it. I told him straight up. I was like, I don't want to do it. I told him, I said, if you do not want to talk to me no more because of it, that's fine. I don't got no issue with that. Like, I'm not mad, but I ain't doing nothing like that. And he was just like, man, just think about it. He was like, do you remember that day that you asked me what pimp was, and I told you, you started being curious and you started asking me all these other questions? Like, I feel like it's on your mind, it's on your temple and stuff. And y'all ladies, I do want to also add that, like, I don't really, like, I'm not gonna sit here and cap to you. I really don't judge prostitutes. Like, I don't look at a prostitute and be like, why would she be a prostitute, da da da. The reason why is, if you are very weak-minded, or if you have low self-esteem, or like you don't have a lot of confidence in your future, it's very easy to end up with a pimp, because pimps are supposed to manipulate you into believing that they can protect you and that they can make you a lot of money, and it's way easier than, you know, working a 9-to-5, or, you know, doing these other things that regular people are doing in today's day and age. Like I said before, if you have low self-esteem or you don't have a lot of confidence in yourself, it's very easy for a guy to convince you that going that route will be fine, and that he will protect your finances and he will elevate you and this and that and stuff like that. Especially when you see guys with like designers and all that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy, right? Like I said, I am not that easy to manipulate. Cool, like I keep telling him no, he keep trying to press the issue, y'all. Like, he is coming, like, y'all, we are on this phone for at least 40 minutes and he's trying so many different alternative routes to press the issue, to tell me that nothing is wrong with what he does, nothing is wrong with me doing it. He told my son, I don't know which, and he said, that's why I was asking you, how much do you make on YouTube, because I can guarantee you can make that in a day. You can make that in a day. And then he starts saying on Bissonnette. Bitch, I said no. Now, you guys from Houston, y'all already know Bissonnette is prostitutes. That's where prostitutes lie on. So he starts saying, you can make that money on Bissonnette in a day. You can make that money on Bissonnette in a day. And I said, I didn't even tell you how much I got paid on YouTube, so how do you know that? He's like, I can tell you, I swear, this isn't that, da-da-da, like, I swear. Everything was just weird, and I told him that, and he was like, that's why I asked you to look for an Airbnb for me, so you can da-da-da, like, and you could tell that he went from trying to sweet talk me. Towards the ending of that whole conversation, you could tell that he became a little irate. But like, you could, because he basically, this is what he said. He said, this is why I told you to get the Airbnb. Like, you could tell he was getting mad. So I'm like, oh, like, this nigga getting mad that I don't want to be a prostitute. He trying to compose himself. He trying to act like he not mad about the situation. I could definitely tell that he is very much so mad about me not wanting to be a prostitute. We keep talking or whatnot, and eventually he hangs up the phone, and I end up having to go somewhere that day, so I get ready to end up going where I have to go. I texted him. He said, hey, Irene, I have to talk to you. I told him, I said, look, you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to talk to me no more, because I don't want to prostitute for you. It is cool. It is fine. It is dandy. I'm about to be, you know, I'm not about to be selling cat. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Texted him that, and he didn't respond. A day goes by, he ends up calling me. I answered the phone. You could tell it's awkward on the phone, like we not really talking. I get on Instagram later on that day. He starts posting subliminals talking about, if you don't want to make money with me, da-da-da, you can't be in my circle, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, I'm looking at him like, bitch, what circle? Bitch, that look like a motherfucking square. I don't know what you talking about, bitch. That look like a motherfucking triangle. What circle are you talking about? You need bitches to make money, bro. If bitches don't fuck, you don't eat. Like, and that's how I look at pimps. Like, I don't like pimps, and I look at them in disgust. So every day he was just making me more disgusted in him to look at him. Like, let's keep it a buck, bro. If bitches don't fuck, you don't eat. So don't talk about you gotta be making money to be in my circle. If you're not making money, I don't want to be around you, da-da-da. He started posting like a whole bunch of stuff, and I could tell that like me not wanting a prostitute for him was irritating him. Like, I could tell. So he eventually stopped texting me. I stopped texting him. I didn't care. I was just like, whatever, like, you know, whatever, like, the fuck. Fuck you, boy, whatever. So every day he is posting a whole bunch of nonsense on his story, like subliminal subbing me, talking about some this and that. Like, it was just so many different subliminals. I don't know if he was subbing me. He could have been subbing other girls that said no to him, but I do know for a given fact that he was subbing me at some point in time, because it literally, like, we stopped talking and he started like basically saying there was a time he had posted something on his story like, y'all would rather sit around and do 9 to 5s. Do you not know how much money you can make in the da-da-da, like on the streets? In one day you can make as much money as you make as your 9 to 5 in one day on the streets with me, baby. Da-da-da. Like, he just going in, and y'all, bitch, I'm about to block him. So I literally wanted to unfollow him, but I didn't want him to look like I was pressed. I should have unfollowed him. I ended up muting his story. I muted his story and I stopped talking to him. I will say, like, about 3 weeks later, mind you, he's still watching my story. He's just still watching my story, but I'm not watching his. Watch his every once in a while. One day I went to go watch his story, y'all. He got arrested. One of his girls, I'm gonna say one of his girls, ran off with the money, and it was a lot. Like, cause y'all know how y'all get on Instagram and y'all accidentally click somebody's live? He was on Instagram live and I accidentally clicked it, and I tried to click out and my phone was freezing. So I was like, shit, I'm already here. I might as well just watch it. Now, this boy was on Instagram live with like 2 other boys.
She tried to click off and it kept freezing. So, man, stop. Just say you wanted to watch it. She said she tried to click off, but her phone kept freezing. So she said, I'm going to just watch it. Like, if your phone freezing, that means the live should have been freezing. Man, I ain't finna do this today.
And they were basically talking about, man, these hoes, man. Let me tell you something about these hoes. You got to keep these hoes in check. Because if you don't keep these hoes in check, they'll fuck up your whole stable. And they're like, yeah. Like, they're talking. I'm like, and it's like seven people in the live. I'm like, what they talking about? Long story short, y'all, one of the girls, I guess she tried to run off with his money. I think he hit her, or like he tried to get the money back. It was just so much bullshit, and he got arrested. And so he went on live the next day. And the other 2 guys that were in the live, you could tell that they were older guys. I went to their page. Y'all, I'm being nosy. I went to their page. You could tell that they were pimps as well. And so it looked like they was like schooling him and giving him game on one-on-one and stuff like that. I personally feel like because the boy saw me in his live, he ended up calling me. So I would say the very next day he ends up calling me, or like a couple of days later he calls me, and I end up answering and we talk on the phone. And he's like, hey Irene, and I'm like, hey Memphis, what's up? Like, I'm not really mad at him, you know, I'm not really irritated. I'm just like, you're weird, you're a weirdo. Like, that's how I kind of feel about him at this point. So he's like, nothing, I was just checking up on you. I haven't talked to you in a while. I just wanted to see how you've been doing. So I was like, I've been doing good, you know, I've been living, doing good. So we're talking and stuff. I'm like, how have you been? And he's like, I've been good. All of a sudden he says, the offer is still on the table. Bitch, I'm about to flip the table. I'm about to pound the table. Bitch, I don't care about the table. So I'm just like, what offer? He was like, you know. He was like, you know what I'm talking about? He was like, the offer is still on the table. He was like, look, Irene, let me talk to you again. I'm like, oh my God, why did I answer this phone? And I know somebody about to be like, girl, you knew what was going on. Y'all, I don't want to hear nothing in the comments, okay? I don't want to hear, why'd you answer the phone? I don't want to hear it. Okay, I answered the phone. So he starts talking to me. He's like, Irene, do you not know how pretty you are? He was like, do you not know how much money we will make with you? Then the boy proceeds to say, and I'm going to be real with you, Irene, like, your body is banging, and then you're a plus size girl. Like, he said, that's like different compared to the rest of the girls that be on the strip. A lot of them be like smaller girls. He was like, a lot of guys would like you. It's like he was fetishizing me. I'm looking at him like, ew. He's like, I did not call you to press you or anything. That's exactly what you did. But oh well. So he's like, I didn't call you to press you. I didn't call you to put pressure on top of you. But he said, I just really called you to check on you. But also, like, you know, if you ever do want to do what I'm offering you to do, you know my number. But I still want to make sure that you're doing good. I know we don't talk like that anymore. So I told him straight up, I'm like, thank you so much, Memphis, for reaching out to me. You already know how I feel. Like, I'm, you know, I didn't tell him that I'm not doing it, but I think I said, you already know how I feel. He was like, you're right. And I told him, I said, if I change my mind, I'll let you know. I was just talking. I was never going to change my mind. But, you know, I just didn't want him to feel some type of way, or I don't know. I have this habit of like not trying to offend men, but nowadays I don't care. So we hang up the phone, and like I'm gonna say a couple of days later, but after that he completely stopped watching my story. And so one day I went to his page, and like I told you guys before, the boy was muted, so I never really watched his shit. So at first I was thinking like, okay, maybe he stopped watching my story because I stopped watching his. Bitch, tell me why I went to that page and that boy, I went to go watch his story. He was subbing, talking about hoes, making money, blah, blah, blah. The usual, the usual. Tell me why that boy unfollowed me. And in the very last story that I watched, he basically said something like he is not following no girls that can't make him money, this and that, da da da. Like he's tired of girls wasting his time, blah, blah, blah. And he unfollowed me. Bitch, I don't follow him back. Who the fuck are you? Like, who are you, Memphis? Who are you? Sorry, y'all. My camera about to die. So let me finish this story. Yeah, y'all, he ends up unfollowing me. Y'all, bitch, y'all know me, I'm petty. I went out and follow his ass on Instagram. I unfollow his ass on TikTok. Like I said before, the boy don't be on TikTok like that. So I feel like he forgot to follow me on TikTok, because when I went to his TikTok, he was still following me. But bitch, I don't follow his ass. I don't follow his ass everywhere. And y'all, that's the ending of the story. And the thing is, when I went to go watch his story, he went back to watch mine later on that day, because I guess he was just like, oh shit, like that girl went and watched my story. Y'all, I ignored his ass when I seen him in my views. Like I literally was like, boy, bye. Like, so y'all, I don't think the boy never liked me. Well, I do kind of feel like he had I do feel like he was attracted to me, but I do also feel
that man ain't like you at all. He had an objective. He thought you would be one of the ones that he can manipulate. You feel me?
like he was trying to pimp me out too. He was trying to make money off of me. And I ended up telling my friend, and my friend could not stop laughing. She was laughing so hard. She was like, I told your dumb ass. She was like, I told you. She was like, you don't got no business talking to a pimp anyways. And y'all, that just taught me a valuable lesson. Like, if a guy ever messaged me and I find out that he's a pimp, I'm not talking to him. I don't care even if he doesn't try to include me in that lifestyle. Even if he says, oh, I do not, like, you know, date, like, da da da. I don't care. As soon as a guy lets me know that he's a pimp, or if he gives me pimp tendencies, I'm not talking to him, because this boy literally was hassling me, y'all, for a while to become one. Like, he kept trying to, like, give me so many different scenarios about how I can do this, how I can do that, how much money I can make, how much money. Like, it was draining. It was mentally draining. It was physically draining. And I was just looking at him like, damn, bitch, I just wanted to, bitch, you were just supposed to be used to get over my situation shit. Bitch, you stressing me out too. Like, it was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. So, yeah, y'all, that's the story time. If you guys like this story, please, please, please comment down below. Like, I like
right,
when you guys
end that right there. That shows you how delusional some people are. Like, she talking about trying to get over a situationship. A situationship ain't serious. So how you trying to get over something, right? That ain't serious. Like, who made up these words? Situationship. What is that, bro? Seriously, bro. Like, and another thing is, why, if a dude try to pimp you out, why you still talking to him? You still answer. The Holy Spirit told you he was a pimp. Obviously, the Holy Spirit. But you still go and talk to him. Like, what? Man, I can't. But yeah, I guess that story. Don't talk to pimps. I don't know. But y'all tell me what y'all think about the video in the comments, man. See you guys next video. Always remember, you say by your kings and queens. Let's get it.